super, super proud of this young lady right here. She is one of my tax deeds and tax lien investor mentees. And Jashina and I have been working for about a year or a little bit over a year that we've been working together. And this is the first time that we're doing like an interview. Like we've been like secret squirrels. Secret squirrels. I know we have been, right? Secret squirrels working together behind the scenes, building her portfolio of properties. And I'm just really just in awe of what you have accomplished. So Jashina is a full-time mom of 3, and your oldest is how old?
8.
You're old 8. Okay, so there you go, everyone. So a full-time mom of 3 children, and the oldest is 8. So that means the other 2 are younger than 8. And she's still able to invest and run her real estate business, investing successfully. She's also a beautiful wife, and she has an amazing husband that's supportive as well too. But it's just so wonderful what you have been able to accomplish. So on this week's Tax Deed Tuesday, we are going to be talking about Jashina's success and the strategies that she has implemented in her success regarding tax liens and tax deed certificates, right? So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on this week's Tax Deed Tuesday.
Yes, girl. We're gonna get it. All right. So when you started investing in real estate, did you know anything like when you started?
I mean, no, I didn't know anything about real estate. I knew I had experience in buying my own personal house, but other than that, I didn't know a lot about real estate. I just knew about being on that on the buyer side of it for personal reasons.
Right. So like when your own personal transaction. So you started with a clean slate, just like fresh.
Yes.
All right. And what has the journey been so far with creative real estate investing for you?
The journey has been awesome. It's definitely been one that requires a lot of learning and understanding where you fit in, because there are a lot of strategies out there in real estate investing, but all of them may not fit for you. So it's definitely a journey in finding a good fit and getting into the motions of doing everything you need to do to get your business going.
Right. Because when we first started out, you learned about wholesaling, right? How to do that successfully. We learned together lease options.
Yes.
How to do that. We learned owner financing. We learned how to do that as well too. And then we transitioned into tax liens and tax deeds, and then also other creative strategies as well too. So out of all the strategies that you learned coaching with me, which one did you gravitate to?
The tax deeds and tax liens. That's my favorite. That's my baby. I love it.
I don't blame you. It is my favorite as well too. Like I enjoy, doing real estate deals with the other strategies, but I really do have a heart for tax liens and tax deeds because there's just always opportunity. Like no matter the state, no matter the county, there's 3,141 counties and county equivalents across the United States. So we don't even pay for liens, right? Every month, the county publishes and updates what's available in their county for purchase, right? So that's why I love it so much too. So no yellow letters, no postcards, no nothing, none of that stuff.
No anything. You apply and you get it and you do what you need to do.
Exactly. So you started when you were in transition, when you were living in one state way across the country, and then you were investing in a whole nother state. So speak about that, because most people think that they have to start in their backyard or to start investing in the state that they live in.
So when I initially started investing in tax liens, I was in El Paso, Texas. El Paso is a great place. However, to invest in these tax lien certificates or tax deeds, you have to have a lot of money up front, because the only way you can get to them is the auction. Learning from your class, Jackie, I learned that there's a lands available list. And these are also lands that have tax deeds, tax liens that were never auctioned off. No one ever bid on them, or no one ever took responsibility for them. And I started looking like, hey, I want to be able to get properties in my name. I want to be able to get properties where I am getting my mail money, or I'm being able to do my sales or do whatever I need to do. I can't do it here in El Paso. So we started looking at other states and found out that the state that I like to invest in, hey, all I need to do is put in an application. Now,
That's so good.
yeah, in the mean between time, I'm moving from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Which was a big move. That was a big deal. Your husband, you know, got a new position, and the whole family, we was leaving, right? The whole family
Right.
had to be uprooted, and this is what we're doing today. We are moving across the country.
Exactly. And this is the second time we moved across the country. First time, my job was affected because now I have to pick up and go. The second time, my business was not affected because, mind you, I'm investing in another state that I don't even live in. All I had to do was jump on the plane with my computer and my hotspot and keep working.
Oh, wow. What a blessing. What did that feel like?
That felt great. That felt great because my business never stopped, but it progressed when I work on it. So even if I'm taking a moment to pack up my family and move across state, or I'm taking a moment to spend time with my kids or anything like that, my business is still working because I have my applications in process to get these properties. All I need to do is drop the money off. And then
That's so good.
on top of that, you know, if I put in more, I get more. So, but
So
it
now,
never.
so you're in control of your time,
I'm in control of
right? In control of your time, in control of your schedule, and how you manage your business. And even through that transition of moving across the country to support your husband in relocating with his new position, your business did not stop. Plus, you're able to be with your children during that period of time and help them through the transition. And it was just a peaceful moment. It wasn't like an uproar or anything like that in your life.
There was no uproar to get settled after moving back across country. I think it took us maybe about 3 or 4 months. In those 3 or 4 months, I still worked. And now that we are a little bit more settled, I put more time into my business, especially the tax deed investing part. I put more time into that every week, but I don't have to do it every day because it pays off if I put 2 hours, if I put 10. The payoff is up to me.
Absolutely. So that's going to be my next question. Like, how much time do you actually dedicate to like your research and looking at the lists and determining which properties you're going to actually go after, apply for, you know, bid on, whatever that looks like for you?
I can say for each property, I don't put in more than 3 hours for each property. I definitely don't. I apply for the properties. That process it's very random. I may take an hour today and apply for properties. I may take 30 minutes tomorrow. I may take 3 hours next week, but it's just random to apply for those properties. Once I get those properties back in my hand and get the details that, hey, we do want to go ahead and offer this property to you, I can say it takes about an hour to 2 hours to go through all the code enforcements, the details, to see how much it will cost me to either repair it or to sell it or to keep it as a rental property. So I do a whole analysis in under 3 hours.
That's so good. That's so good. I wonder, like, who taught you that?
I tell you, you should really reach out to her. Her name is Jackie Jackson. I can give you her phone number. I can
That's
give
so
it to you
good.
right now.
So, I mean, that's my favorite part about this whole strategy is the due diligence. Like, I really kind of, you know, I really love it. Like, I really love just sitting down and going through the public records and official records and cross-referencing the information. Like, I'm a beast at it. I know, I love it. Like, I could click, find everything that I'm looking for, and I transfer that wisdom and that knowledge onto my students. So, what is your experience when you're looking through public records and official record search?
I mean, after like getting instruction from you and going through your class, I love going through public records, and it's actually easy peasy for me. It's funny because my husband is my partner, and he'll look at a property and he'll say, "Hey, I think this is great. You know, blase, blase, blase. This is awesome." And I'm like, "No, we need to do our due diligence." And he's amazed at how fast I can go through and say, we have this many liens. We have this going on. This lien will not survive this. This lien will survive it. And we need to look at this. or there was structural damage. So we need to look at whether we need to condemn, whether we need to rebuild, or just sell it.
Right. And he's like, genius. She's a genius. My wife is a genius.
Where did you find that? Oh, I just went here and I clicked here and did this, and this is who owned it, this is who sold it, and this is who did what.
Super, super dope. So in a couple of Tax Deed Tuesdays ago, right, because we've been doing this for quite some time, I had shared that there are 6 different ways that you can be successful as a tax lien or tax deed investor, right? So the first way is to invest in tax lien certificates at the auction directly. You can also do the over-the-counter certificates if you like. That's also available. You can also do the tax deed auction, right? You can go to the auctions and participate in tax deed auction sales. You can communicate and contact the owner prior to the auction and negotiate with them. That's 4. And number 5 is the land's available list, right? So land that went to auction, nobody bought it, and the county now owns it. So now you can communicate directly with the county or the state and make them an offer. And then last but not least, you have the surplus list, right? The overages and the excess funds. So that's like number 6. So out of all of those different ways to monetize and be successful in the tax lien and tax deed strategies, which is the one that you decided that you was going to focus on?
The land's available list.
Yeah, I like that. Because I know that one don't move. It's like, it's kind of slow and steady.
It's slow and steady. And if you think about it, as a real estate investor, you're looking for houses, period, point blank. They can be ugly, they can be pretty, they can be, ready to roll, ready to demolish, whatever. You're looking for a property. You're trying to get your hands on a property that is feasible, also that's within your budget, and that will get you the amount of profit that you're looking to get out of it. So with the land's available list, you don't have to deal with negotiation. Well, you don't have to deal with people thinking that it's worth more than what it is. All they want is the money that they are owed. 9 times out of 10, that money is less than the house is worth. So,
and when you say they, you're talking about the county, right? The county is going to tell you how much they're selling it for. Normally, it is the total sum of the delinquent taxes that are still outstanding for that property and any penalties and fees that have like accrued. But you get a choice. You get a say in that. You're like, oh, well, no, that's too much. Or, oh, okay, yeah, you only want $3,000 for it? No problem. Check is in the mail. You know what I mean?
You don't have to compete with anybody else. I mean, I remember when I first started with you and I was looking at the land's available list before I started actually putting my time and my applications in. Here's a house that I'm watching just to see how it works. This house is worth $120,000. Mm-hmm. The person applied for it. The other person that I don't know who they are, I was watching the court documents. This person applied for this house and got this house for under $12,000. There were people living in this house. There was nothing wrong with it. My best friend lived 2 houses down.
Wow.
So I had her check the house out for me just to be nosy a little bit. And because the opportunity was there, these people didn't pay taxes, or the previous owner or whoever they're renting from didn't pay taxes. So now another investor was able to walk in and say, I'm going to go ahead and take this property. I'm going to go ahead and use this property for whatever it needs to be used for. I'm going to put this money back into circulation in the county so that everybody gets, what they need to keep everything going. And it was amazing. I was like, well, you know what? If it's this easy, I need to jump on it too.
Yeah, it's a real thing. You can definitely acquire properties for pennies, and I really do mean it, like pennies on the dollar compared to what their actual fair market value is, or even compared to their assessed value. Right. So this is a great transition for us to talk about your deals. All right. So I'm so excited for you because I know that you have been pacing yourself and, you work part-time or whatever, but you have been successful in your acquisition. How many times? How many deals have you done so far?
I've done 6 so far when it comes to tax deed investing.
That's so cool. I'm super excited. So can I do like the happy dance real quick?
Yes.
Hey. That's so cool. And you know what's so interesting? I just so everyone is really clear, like Shena bought these properties sight unseen, right? Because you did not live in the state that you're
Right.
investing in.
Right.
So I have a whole lot of people that ask me that question all the time. Like, do you really buy properties out of state without actually seeing them and so on? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a way to do it, you know? Doesn't mean that it has to be your eyes. It just somebody's eyes gotta be on it, but it doesn't have to be your
Okay.
eyes. Yeah, somebody's eyes gotta see it just to make sure that there's actually a property there. But it doesn't necessarily have to be your eyes. So successfully, 6 properties that you have been able to invest in sight unseen, and I'm just really proud of you regarding that. So that's super super amazing. So you and your husband, you were sharing with me earlier that you and your husband had an opportunity to just like take a little mini vacation weekend and go look at you guys' properties, right?
We did, and it was amazing. It to actually invest and know that you're working on something, and then to actually see it, to see, hey, this is mine. Like it's tangible now.
Right, right. Like you could touch it.
Exactly. Like I can touch it. I can knock on the door. I mean, even one of the properties, I was able to actually like walk up inside the property. Yeah,
Aww.
no one lives there, but I was able to get in and see it, and I know it's mine. So
Yeah, but that feels like super amazing. Like, okay, I'm not trespassing, it's mine.
who are you gonna call? It's my property. I'm inspecting it right now.
That's super, super cool. So, on average, right, the properties that you were able to successfully acquire during this particular strategy, because I know you're investing and you're sending out your letters and you're still doing the other strategies, but this is the one that you decided to focus on. On average, what is your spend on your acquisition?
My average is about $3,000.
Okay. So, about $3,000 per property. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. And then for each of those properties, on average, what has been their values, or what has been the value ranges of those properties?
The value range has been anywhere from about 45,000 to about 65,000. A little bit more than 65.
So let me get this straight. So you're telling me, ma'am, that you've been buying $3,000 properties for properties that have values of upwards of $65,000 for each one?
Yes, and then just to make it a little bit more interesting, one of the properties that my husband and I looked at that we're looking to acquire, the bid for it is $3,600, give or take a little bit. But the other houses in the area are comping for 120,000.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You better work, Shena.
Okay.
Better get that deed and stop
Yes.
playing. You better get it.
Yes. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. And it's like, it's unbelievable to know, hey, well, I did send this check, but here it is now. I have this house that needs minor repairs, and I can use it for a rental property, or I can sell it. It needs minor repairs, and we're talking about a 6-bedroom house, full basement, upstairs, downstairs, full attic, completely done with a bedroom. So takes a little bit of work, and I can put someone in it, within a couple weeks.
What a blessing.
Yes.
Is all I can say. It's just, that's such an amazing blessing. And the strategy, I can't emphasize enough how successful people can be about it. And I think the real estate investors that really take advantage of the strategy, they don't necessarily talk about it.
No. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I don't talk about it. A lot of people ask questions and they'll say, well, how's the investing business going? What's going on? Tell me about it. Like, oh, it's going great. I put in a little work. I get a lot of return. It's the truth. But, it's not a strategy that everyone's familiar with, so it's not something that comes up in conversation really. And it's easy to explain. But if people are not familiar with it, that doesn't sound. No, believe me, it's 100% completely true, honest. You can
Right.
make money. You can put money back into the neighborhood that you're investing in. You can put somebody in a home that really needs one that's affordable. So
Exactly.
so many win-wins using the tax deed strategy.
There absolutely is.